The story of the season is told in moments. Now, moments don't just happen, but when they do, you have to reach out and grab them. Remember them. Cherish them. Because those moments happen, and then they're gone. Or are they? Did you hear that? The moments of the season burn like embers fading into the dying of the light. And if you look at those moments, frame by frame, then the whole picture comes into focus. The victories, heartache, tempers, the wrecks, all there right before your eyes in big, bold, beautiful color. Lessons have been learned so far, and winning the biggest 2 races of the year means a huge paycheck, but maybe no spot in the chase. Ah, is that even possible? Oh, yeah. This guy's been on top almost all year, but it'll take more than past victories to unseat the true king. Oh, these guys are on fire. Yeah, there's no lesson in that. It's just cool. Has it been 25 races already? Whoa, but here comes number 26. 26. The year's second season starts next week. Quest for silver. But that doesn't mean tonight we ain't getting crazy up in this. 11 drivers have proven themselves worthy of the chase. And now, in Richmond, the last images before the final images take place. Boyer's in the driver's seat, but there are a hungry few trying to steal his thunder. Will Newman or the season's big surprise do the unthinkable? Whatever tonight holds, whoever leaves their mark will be remembered for this moment. So cherish these seconds in time. Hey, let the moment reach out and grab you. Surrender to its power, because tonight is a celebration of the season. Which moments will be remembered? NASCAR race day built by the Home Depot is next on Speed.
It all comes down to this. 1 track, 12 drivers, 2 fighting for their championship lives, 10 here in Richmond for nothing but a win. Tony Stewart joined the ranks of the winners last weekend and locked himself into the chase. Different story for Denny Hamlin, a hometown favorite who slipped last week, but he's still in and going for one more win. In a matter of hours, Kevin Harvick will no longer be the points leader, and defending champ Jimmy Johnson could take the undisputed points lead with a win tonight. Clint Bowyer joins us in moments to talk about his spot, the one he has, and the one Ryan Newman has a chance to take away. Here are the championship numbers as we head into an all-out shootout under the lights in the capital of the Old South, Richmond, Virginia. Your top 10 are locked in now, and they are going for nothing but a win. Here's where it gets a little bit different. With a finish of 42nd or better, the Biff is in. With a finish of 28th or better, Clint Bowyer is in. So ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet. It is time for the last race of the season before we set the 12 drivers who will be in the chase for the championship. Tonight, 10 of the best drivers in the business have one directive, and that's to win. Bring back the trophy or the steering wheel. They call this place racing perfection, and tonight we have the perfect storm for a great race. Hello, everybody. I'm John Roberts. Welcome to NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. He is race car driver Kenny Wallace. He is Kyle Petty. And you know this guy. He's Clint Bowyer. He's the man everybody's watching tonight. Welcome, Clint.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey, you know what? People talk about the pressure, about making this thing, how big it is to make the chase. But all week long, you've been saying, hey, look, man, if we don't relax and have fun, we could blow it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's ours to lose. You know, 28th or better, that is assuming that he's going to lead all the laps and win the race. You know, that's what you got to keep in mind. We just got to keep that in perspective. I told the guys, you know, if you double check that nothing, but make sure you triple check it this time.
Exactly.
Hey, Clint, last week at Atlanta on our Victory Lane show, Tony Stewart said, hey, these cars are becoming more about the car, not the driver. So what did Richard Childress Racing do to your cars over the wintertime? Because your team is way better than you were last year.
Well, absolutely, and we didn't just learn how to drive again. So, you know, that really shows you the strength of our cars. We've really, you know, turned the page. Everybody worked hard. We sold pretty much every car we had, built brand new race cars. Sold them.
They're gone.
No, they're gone. And, you know, the engine program, don't forget ECR. They've done their homework all year long. We've won a lot of races with ECR this year, and it's something that we're all proud of, and that's a huge asset to our, you know, RCR organization.
Yeah, I know a couple of your teammates are in the chase.
And this may be, but I don't think there's a favorite going into the chase. You are the strongest 12th place contender I've ever seen in the chase going into it. The last 2 or 3 races carrying that momentum into this and having those good solid top 5 and top 10 runs, how important is that to jump into the chase?
Well, that's huge. And you know, looking back at last week, that really gave me a lot of confidence. We struggled. You know, we weren't a top 10 car throughout the race, and there at the end, we made the adjustments and got ourselves back in position to get ourselves, you know, a good top 10, 7th place finish, and more importantly, put more points on these guys. So, you know, it's the ability to take, you know, bad races and turn them into good, or what makes teams able to compete for a championship. And, you know, whether the 12th seed or not, I feel like we can still be a threat for this championship.
Yeah. Now, you've won at this racetrack before. What it is about this place that makes them call it racing perfection? I know a lot of drivers love the place.
This is a perfect racetrack. I wish we had 10 of these across the country, because it's just the perfect little racetrack. You know, it's big enough you get that sensation of speed, but it's small enough you can still root and gouge, beat and bang on each other, and show emotion like all of our fans like to see.
You know, you said it before, 28th or better. That's him winning the race and all that stuff. Yeah. Is that a factor for you? Are you guys just going in and running your race like you have the last 2 weeks? A 4th at Bristol was impressive to me.
Yeah.
7th last week was a salvage, but a 4th at Bristol was impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a track where we can win at. We've won before, had a good shot at it last night and blew it. So hopefully I won't blow that opportunity tonight. But I'm excited about it. This is one of my best racetracks, and I feel like we can get ourselves even more, you know, more momentum and confidence for this chase run.
Clint, your car owner, Richard Childress, has been the inventor. He innovated, hey, I'm going to take this crew chief and put him over here. You all seem to change crew chiefs every 2 or 3 years. Do you still remain that relationship with your old crew chief? Or are you over there talking to him?
No, absolutely, and that's where your performance comes from, is the ability to work together. And I feel like all 3 teams, you know, when we went back to 3 teams, that was something that we all needed to focus on and work better at, and it's something I think we're all benefiting from right now, is everybody's working together as a team.
Awesome.
Yep.
Hey, and the results are showing on the racetrack as well. Now, Clint, we got all these nice
man.
yellow shirts out here. What's going on with the Cheerios promotion?
Yeah, man, love your heart so you can do what you love to do. It's a Cheerios campaign that we're all proud of, and on the back it says, take care of my heart with Cheerios so I can keep, and I filled mine in with working on my hot rods. What'd you guys fill
I filled mine in for you. It says, I eat Cheerios so I can keep telling Kevin Harvick stories. Give me a good Kevin Harvick story,
There's
man.
too many.
Come on, man. Just one. Give us one. Come on, give us one.
He won last night. How about that one?
There you go. Hey,
that one is perfect. That is so fitting.
to keep talking.
Mine is very important. I eat Cheerios so I can keep talking.
Hey,
talk a lot.
I'm sucking up a little bit here since Clint was nice enough to come out to us. Said I keep I want to keep watching number 33 race.
That's
oh,
right,
that's
man.
good.
And perhaps win tonight.
You are sucking up. That
You know
is
what I want to do?
All right, you guys get to throw them out.
Yeah.
Thank you all for being here. Woo!
We're going to send Clint off to the driver's meeting, but I'm going to show you guys how you really get a T-shirt out in the crowd here.
Do good tonight,
We're
brother.
armed
Yeah,
here.
man. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Good luck.
What are you doing?
Here you
No, don't.
Boom. That was nobody can get it.
Well, somebody will get it out.
You almost hit that camera.
That's weak. That's weak. Put that thing down.
I love
that
it.
thing.
I like this thing.
somebody.
It's
Come
a
on,
great
man.
cannon, isn't it? Clint, thanks a lot, man.
These guys shut
Yeah.
up sometimes. Huh?
Yeah, it does. I'll teach him how to shut up.
That scares
We
me.
got to take a quick break when we send Clint Boyer off to the driver's meeting, but let's now go to Hermie Sadler.
Yeah, thank you, JR. Not as festive in this pit. Y'all having a good time out there, but I got Ryan Newman. Ryan, before we even talk about the race and the points and all that, your affiliation with the U.S. Army got to be special for you guys to be racing on 9/11 9 years later.
It is, and it's it's an honor. I've always said it's an honor to represent the U.S. Army, the soldiers themselves, the people that have given us this freedom. And 9 years ago, when it was in question, have kept us this freedom so that we can come here and enjoy a Sprint Cup race on a Saturday night. 9 years later, so. All that being said, I've always said it's an honor, and look forward to hopefully a great race tonight with the U.S. Army Chevrolet.
Well, it doesn't look like Clint Boyer is worried about too much. He's having a good time throwing T-shirts out on the stage, but in all seriousness, you guys are in a position where you've got to try to win the race, and if you get the right break, maybe, but you know, it's a long road to hoe for you guys so far, so just try to go out and win, getting to win number 2 this year.
Yeah, that's our goal, but my wife and one of our employees decided to play a little prank on him, which I don't know if he said anything about, but they gave him a green $50 bill and some peanuts rolled up in it as a little gift this morning. So I think he said he wasn't going to carry it with him. I don't know why, but you know how it is, race car drivers and jinxing. So we'll see what that hopefully brings.
So if something happens bad to him, you'd feel really bad about that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, he was joking about it. He says, yeah, watch me barrel roll down the back straightaway on the second lap. How you guys going to feel then? But no, just in all fairness, Clint's a great guy, and you know, whatever happens tonight happens. We have a mathematical chance, but we can't expect to make it up in one race, and there is potential. We have a good car, and anything can happen here at a short track, but in the end, we're here to win the race. If that happens, it happens.
As a race car driver like tonight, do you ever go back and say, look at one particular race early this year and say, what if this and what if that, or do you just a look-ahead guy?
Everybody can do that, but we know that we went through a lot more this year than last year, looking at the restrictor plate tracks. We got 3 DNFs there, and we didn't have that last year. Even when we got in a crash, we still finished third at Talladega in the spring of last year. So we lost an engine at California, but you know, everybody has those type of trends at some point in their season. So unfortunately, it happened up to this point, but at the same time, you know, we could have created our destiny a little differently by being a little stronger throughout those other races, and it's racing, man, and we're just happy to be in contention. There's 20 guys behind me in points that wish they were in my position. Now they have a shot at it, so just be thankful for where I'm at.
And I just learned before we came on the air that Ryan Newman's a little bit of a hunter. You said a fan gave you this turkey call at the fan zone. You want to send us back to JR? You want to call JR with that thing?
I'm no expert caller. I am a turkey hunter. I'm a hunter in general, but he gave me this. I thought it was a walrus bone for good luck at first, you know, like a little walrus tusk or something like that, and he realized it was a turkey call, so
Oh, what? Kenny Wallace is a turkey. Call Kenny.
Hey, that kind of sounds like Kenny.
Well, yeah, I know what you're saying, Ryan, and I can really relate to you, and I just can't believe it either.
So there are the 2 drivers in question, Ryan Newman and Clint Boyer. They could swap positions, but for the top 10, they are there to race for the win and nothing else. We brought the big guns out for you today. Larry Mack, Jeff Hammond, and Darrell Waltrip. And also, since we got the big guns, let's shoot another gun up here.
I'm scared, man. Hey, shoot a camera. Shoot a camera. Oh,
my artillery came apart.
Oh, you're right.
That was a dud. Oh.
Look at that.
One's got a chase spot locked up, and the other's locked out of the top 12. But both are rocking the mic and spitting their game today. Carl and Casey take turns donning the RF and answering the questions you care about. And later, Team Headset plays Mother Nature for something we like to call the Race Day Lightning Round, where the real stars of the show give it to you straight. The inside info is heading your way. NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot on speed.
NASCAR Race Day is built by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Brought to you in part by Cheerios. Check out Cheerios.com/love for heart-healthy tips and the chance to win the ultimate race weekend. And by Metroid, Other M, exclusively on Wii. Rated Teen.
So among the chase drivers, who is hot and who is not over the last 10 races? The hottest driver has been Tony Stewart by far, but Carl Edwards is not too far behind. Over the last 10 races, Kevin Harvick in the win column and average finish column looks very good, but let's remember, in a matter of a couple of hours, Kevin Harvick will no longer be the points leader. Now, if he could end up in victory lane, he can add 10 bonus points, and that's where we have our good friends Larry Mack, Jeff Hammond, and Darrell Waltrip down there where everybody wants to end up tonight. Guys, not too much drama when it comes to the top 12, but the drama we really have is the perfect storm of these top 10 drivers.
Yeah, you know, I think that about tonight is this is not a throwaway race. This race is a statement race. Tonight is one of those nights when if you don't have any wins, you need to get one. If you want to catch that 48 and 11, you got to get a win tonight to get a little closer to them in the bonus points. So there's a lot on the line tonight. This is not a throwaway race.
No, it's definitely not a throwaway race, Darrell, because the fact I talked to some of the crew chiefs in the garage area, yeah, they're going for the win, but a couple of them, even including our pole setter, Carl Edwards, Boz Osborne told me they're trying a little bit experimenting for next week at Loudon. They're going to try a little something different. They feel like they got their car where they want it, but it's not exactly the setup that you would normally see here at Richmond. So look for the 99 maybe to be, you know, he may be hot and cold tonight. You never know.
And I think that's a great point because the left side tire that we race here is the same left side tire we'll race next week. If you find something this weekend that makes your car turn through the middle, you can apply that to Loudon next week. If you find something that hooks the rear wheels up under acceleration, that may apply to a Loudon. But the thing I want to say when you talk about momentum, we can talk about these last few races, but I go back to last year. Tony Stewart carried a lot of momentum into the chase. When we got to the chase, yeah, he won the race at Kansas, but only in half of those 10 races did he have top 10 finishes. I think you want to end the first 26 on a great note, Johnny, but I'm not sure it really means anything for the actual chase itself.
Exactly. We will reset these points after tonight and go for the championship. But, Kyle, you said it earlier before, and I think a lot of people would agree with you. This top 12, these 12 drivers that we're going to end up with could be the closest field ever. There's no clear-cut favorites.
No, there's not a clear. You got to say Jimmy Johnson is, because he's already won 4, so he's the guy. You know what I mean? But as far as how they're performing right now and all these teams, we saw in those statistics right there. You know, the 20 or the 11 car of Denny Hamlin's had a couple of bad issues, but other than that, they're all within averaging 15th to 20th place or 15th to 5th or 6th place finishes. So when you start looking at that, they're all in a tight bunch, and there's not anybody that really jumps out. Clint Boyer, who's 12th and trying to make the chase, has the 6th best in that, so that shows you how tight they are.
And Kenny, remember, Kyle Busch had 9 wins heading into the chase, and he just exploded, really, literally almost, at the first race of the chase. And then everybody said that one year Clint Boyer shouldn't even have been in there, and he went out, led the most laps, and won the race.
And race fans, this is only 10 races. We're not talking about 26. We found our 26 to get to this point, and I said, why is Kevin Harvick not a favorite? Well, because it's a new year. It's only 10 races, 10 chances to become the championship. So whole different ball game than to have 26 tries.
So momentum is a huge thing, and right now you have to say it's on the side of the number 99 team and Carl Edwards. They're on the pole, and also Wendy Venturini. They've been strong. 5 top 5s in the last 7 races.
Yes, Carl Edwards has been on a roll, and he's on a roll as we're coming up for the drivers meeting. Carl Edwards literally walking off his mule right there, headed to the drivers meeting. Thanks for joining us on race day. All right, we were just talking about momentum. What has gotten into your team in the last few weeks? Because you sure have found it.
First of all, I didn't ride a real mule. It was a Kawasaki mule. You know, our team's just been working very hard. And our Aflac, Kellogg, Scott's team is just really, they kept their heads down, working, digging, trying to get everything we can out of the race cars. And the other thing that's been great is our team, you know, at Roush Fenway and RPM have all worked together. And I feel like we've kind of been in the trenches for a while, you know, for the last year, and we built a really strong team, and now it seems to be going really well. So I'm enjoying it. The cars are fast, and I'm real excited about tonight's race because it's just a fun race for us. We're in the chase, which is a huge victory.
And you're one of those guys that can take some chances tonight. Are you and Bob Osborne going to take those chances to get those 10 bonus points?
Yeah, for sure. I'm just not going to run into Clint Boyer. I don't want to mess him up, but other than that, we're out here to win this race, and you know, we've got that first pit stall, which is huge, and you know, we've got the Kellogg's and Cheez-Its folks here, and their suite is looking right down at our pits, so a victory will be huge, and we'll take whatever chances we can.
All right, good luck to Carl Edwards, fastest in practice, and we'll be starting from the pole. Put on the shades, head into the drivers' meeting. Johnny?
And Wendy, that would be the longest winless streak of his career coming to an end tonight if Carl can make it back into victory lane. Well, they could be the points leaders after tonight, and we'll talk to them when we come back to NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. Tonight is it, the last chance to shuffle the chase drivers and the last chance for 10 bonus points. Welcome back, everyone, to NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. Race number 26 of the 2010 season brings us to Richmond, where Kasey Kahne has won before, and also he'll start 10th tonight. And if you're a big fan of Kasey Kahne, you should go to Oktoberfest. It's a Bavarian-style Oktoberfest-themed festival with 20 draft beers, pretzels, live music, beer mugs, and a chance to meet NASCAR Sprint Cup driver Kasey Kahne, 15th and 16th at the Dollar General and Bank of America 500 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And you can get your tickets by calling 800-455-FANS or going to charlottemotorspeedway.com. And for an update on another racetrack that's undergoing a facelift right now, let's go to Hermie Sadler.
Yeah, thank you, Johnny. Bouncing around in the garage area. Who do we run into? Joey Chitwood, president of Daytona International Speedway. Welcome to Richmond, first of all. Last race for the chase. You got any predictions on what's going to happen tonight?
No, I really don't. I actually, it was pretty interesting seeing Kyle Busch's car and the uniform. So, of course, what is it? Who doesn't love love? So I'm sure he'll have a good show tonight. But that was interesting to see one of the drivers all dressed in pink.
Tell us about Daytona International Speedway. You've been in the news a lot because of the repaving job going on. The last repaving job we had was 1979 at that racetrack. Can you imagine the speeds we're going to have in Daytona in February?
It's going to be phenomenal. What people don't realize is back in 78, 79, all they did was add a couple inches of asphalt on top. They didn't truly dig it up and repave it. You know, right now we're in a great spot. We actually have 3 layers down on the super stretch and the front stretch. We just got 2 layers down in turns 3 and turns 4. We've got the concrete boxes in the pit stalls done. We're widening pit lane. We're working on the base there. So right now we're in a great position. We're looking forward to January. That's when we're expected to be done, and it couldn't be going any better.
If it gets done in early enough in January, have you had any talks with NASCAR at all about, you know, fans love preseason testing in January? Any idea, you know, in your talks with NASCAR, if that's a possibility?
Not only do fans love it. We We like preseason testing. We're talking to NASCAR every day. We're trying to figure out if there's an opportunity to get some January dates. I think they understand how important it is. So hopefully soon we'll figure something out and let the world know that we're going to have some January testing, but we're hard after that.
Hey, and Johnny, not only did it repave the racetrack, but redone pit road. They got cement stalls on pit road. Pit road is 20 feet wider. A lot of improvements going on down in Daytona that we'll see hopefully in January.
Hermie, thanks a lot. Hard to imagine Daytona being any better, but what a great thing to see preseason Thunder come back. We'd love to see that. Got to take a quick break here on NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. But when we come back, the man who engineered a huge victory last weekend and the man who wants one in a big way tonight.
Smoke took checkered last week to get the 31 race monkey off his back and announce his bad intentions for the chase. We're heading back to the ATL to relive Tony's taming of the slower 42.
Bring the trophy back today, I'll buy you a little swimming pool. Copy that. Just remember that you can't get it in industrial strength for about 2 or 3 days.
And then his head honcho joins us to chat about the 14's Cup chances. Around the turn, NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot on speed.
Racing chef.
Man, looking good. All that chow on the grill there. We say this every weekend because it's true. NASCAR fans don't tailgate for 2 days. They tailgate for 2 weeks, and they know how to get it done here at Richmond. We've seen guys camping out for days. Virginia is famous for its barbecue. Richmond is famous for some of its chefs. But how about our very own racing chef, Nikki Morse, who is having a great time with all the fans here in the capital of the Commonwealth of Virginia?
Guys, you should be out here with me in the campground. We are having a ball. If you're at home or if you're coming to the racetrack and you're going to camp, I want to show you a recipe that's really simple to do and it's great. Take a baguette in sections. First thing you do is hollow it out. We're going to make stuffed baguettes. And if you don't like this recipe, or if you have someone coming that doesn't like this recipe, or they're vegetarian, or they like tuna salad, bring different salads. It's simple. In here, I've got all different ingredients. I've got some red onion, some peppered salami, hot pepper cheese. We've got some julienne red pepper, some basil, tomatoes, a little bit of garlic, and just regular salami. I'm gonna put I got about a half a cup of each of those ingredients except for the garlic. We're gonna put a little olive oil in there, little bit of cracked pepper, little bit of salt, not too much salt. We're gonna mix it up. This is very simple and very tasty. Now these, you can bring in a plastic bag to the track. They stay fresh and they're wonderful. The salad, you can bring it in a plastic bag too and just toss it once you get there. Take some tongs, you take this out of your plastic bag, mix this up in your plastic bag, grab some tongs, and just shove it right in there. And believe me, they are wonderful. You have fresh bread. This is antipasto to go. All right, let's go see who's hungry. Who's hungry back here? Woo! Come on.
When you come to the racetrack, you can cook like a champion if you watch The Racing Chef on Speed. Saturday, September 18th at 7 a.m., Colin Brown and Rutledge Wood will cook. And you know what? If Rutledge is on there, you know he's cooking up something. At least his hair will look really good, if nothing else. Let's go to Wendy Venturini, see what's cooking in the garage.
Well, you talk about cooking. We had to see what crew members were eating on this race night for a Saturday night race at Richmond. Well, it's tacos at the 43 hauler. For this hauler drivers, we have Jeff Eisenhower and Bill Cole. The hauler drivers have cooked up beef and chicken tacos. I asked them what makes them come up with these recipes. They said their crew chief likes it. So chicken tacos for the 43 team, a whole buffet food where they get plenty of eats coming into a long night. It was a late start to the day, so a lot of the guys had lunch before they came in, but now the guys have have already moved on to dinner. That means the cars have gone through inspection and everyone's starting to take a dinner break before our long evening into the race tonight at Richmond. Good stuff cooking. It smells really good. It's too bad you don't have smell vision here, Johnny.
Hey, one thing we do know for sure that when we do come to the racetrack, we are certainly well fed here. I hope we don't look too much like it, but we certainly are. Now, here's something you can feast on. These Speed TV fantasy racing. Team Race Day is, of course, on top.
We are still the greatest.
Still on top. Still
we are the greatest of all
But
time.
how about this? Trackside. The Trackside guys who are with us tonight, they are out of the basement. No longer in 4th place. That honor goes to the Camping World Truck Series.
Yes.
Nicely done, guys.
On it, boys.
Hey, see what you guys think of our picks for this week, because you're kind of part of this. We got Jimmy Johnson from the A group, Juan Pablo Montoya from the B group, and Regan Smith out of the C group. They're going to get it done for us tonight and keep us up there in the lead in Speed Fantasy Racing. And also, when we get to our Race Day Fantasy Racing, there's kind of a good surprise for you along the way. He could be the points leader after tonight. We'll talk about it when we come back. After the checkered flag is waved, be sure to check out NASCAR Victory Lane, fueled by Sunoco, and catch all of the race highlights in raw emotion straight from Victory Lane. Also, go to speedtv.com, keyword Sunoco, to enter for your chance to win an autographed flag signed by the winner of today's race. And you definitely could expect to possibly see the number 48 driven by Jimmy Johnson in Victory Lane after this is all said and done. So who better to go to for our Sunoco Pit Strategy of the Week than the Chad Canals.
All right, so this is a pretty big weekend. Obviously, the last race of the regular season. One guy, he's got a lot of stress on him. That's Shane Wilson, the crew chief for Clint Boyer. He cannot make a mistake. His crew can't make a mistake, and his driver definitely can't make a mistake that'll take him out of the race and possibly lose a seat in the chase for the championship. Everybody else, they're going for broke. They're going to do whatever they can possibly do to try to win the championship. And there's a lot of different scenarios that can play out here in Richmond. You can see somebody, after a late race caution, stay out on the racetrack to try to maintain track position. You'll see guys maybe do a gas and go. You'll see some guys maybe try to stretch fuel mileage or even 2 tires at the end of the race. There's a lot of things that can really happen at this racetrack, but you really have to be on your toes throughout the midsection of this race, because you'll see some long green flag runs and you'll start to get a little bit comfortable. But the thing you always have to keep in mind is your long green flag runs here are only about 35 laps. You see the caution every 35 laps here at Richmond, and that makes it very difficult. And you have to watch what you're doing, because you can get trapped out there and need to pit under green flag situation, and that'll take you right out of the race. So this is a very intense race. Brakes are hot and tempers are always flying, guys. It's going to be an exciting race.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Chad. It is going to be exciting, because for the top 10, some of the best in the business, their strategy is either bring back the trophy or the steering wheel. There's nothing else to go for other than a win. But for Jimmy Johnson, he says he's cautiously going after victory.
We're going to be aggressive and going for a win. Yeah, this track was really tough on us in the spring, so practice is really important for us and qualifying to make sure that we get the right package under the car. So if we do have an opportunity during the course of the race, we can take that. The way we ran in the spring, you know, being aggressive and trying to stay out on fuel mileage or a 2-tire stop, it would just send us to 20th or 30th. So we got to make sure we have a good enough car to do that first. We all think that those 10 points are really important now. Only time will tell in the chase, but I would much rather have those 10 points going into the chase than not. So we'll try really hard for it and see what happens.
And the first chase ever was won by fewer than 10 points. Let's take a look at Jimmy Johnson's fall race at Richmond and how he has performed. Started 4th and finished 11th back in 2009, the last time we ran here. And of course, 4 of those, Larry Mack, are championship years. Could we be looking at number 5 for Jimmy Johnson and company, or is this going to be his toughest contest yet?
Well, I think that's the team you're going to have to drive through. I know they struggled here in the spring. They qualified 11th here this weekend. But you look at the fact the last time they won, we were doing the Loudon-Richmond comparison. The last time they won was at Loudon back in June. But I will say this, 2 things that's jumped out at me about that 48 car this year that we normally have not seen. They've had a tough time here of late closing the deal. I know they had a great run at Atlanta last week, but the other thing they have had some struggles is on pit road with some pit stops. That has been their Achilles heel several times this year, DW.
Yeah, but I think the X factor is the guy that we interviewed there just a second ago, Chad Canals. I don't care how bad they're running or what's going on. It's always the crew chiefs that are all up and down pit road saying, wonder what Chad's going to do. Wonder what Chad's going to pull out of the rabbit, what kind of rabbit he's going to pull out of the hat tonight or whatever. So that's the X factor in my mind, that guy in the pits making those calls.
Now, you talk about an X factor. I think one thing they've got to get away from, they've had a lot of DNFs this season. 4 DNFs, that's totally, out of characteristic for the 48 group. This is another thing they can't allow to happen. Last year when we started at Loudon, they had 1 DNF, and that was a deal at Texas. They got back out and didn't have a good finish. But out of those 10 races, they finished in the top 10 9 times with 4 wins, and that's the kind of, to me, performance we're expecting out of these guys. And as you said, Chad Knaus is the man who makes that happen, and I believe he may be able to pull it off maybe one more time.
Can the 48 win the championship again for its 5th year in a row? Well, you remember a year or 2 ago at Talladega, he laid back. He barely missed the big wreck. Things were going good for the 48. The last 2 races, though, he's been really strong. But I agree with the guys down in Victory Lane. Luck has not been there. Why? Go back to Bristol. He sits on the pole. He's running 3rd or 4th. Boom, him and Juan Pablo getting a wreck, running for a top 5. You never seen that. He comes back at Atlanta. Kyle has a good 3rd place finish. He's on a roll, but his luck is not there when it used to be.
And as the drive for 5 is alive for Jimmy Johnson, you got to say that 4 championships in a row was incredible. 5 would be absolutely off the charts. Well, he's won at this racetrack before. The drivers' meeting is out, and Casey Kane is on his way to come talk to us live on NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot.
9 years ago today, tragedy struck, and racing was put on hold. A week later, NASCAR responded with a red, white, and blue welcome back to the boys. We'll show you how our sport united after a moment of darkness and helped the nation heal. Straight ahead, NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot on speed.
The Richmond International Raceway has a long, rich history of racing. As a matter of fact, this is the 109th Cup-level race held at this track. And one thing we know for certain is we Virginians love our NASCAR racing, and a lot of them out there love their motorcycles, too. I know KP was kind of foaming at the mouth looking at those motorcycles right there. A lot of gaming going on, a lot of cooking going on, and a lot of fun out here as we get ready for race number 26 of the season to set the field for the 2010 chase. And, of course, around the country tonight at all sporting events, a slight somber mood going on as we remember the fallen heroes of 2001, September 11th, and there will be many tributes throughout the night tonight. A lot of race car drivers have been participating throughout the day in tributes, and Hermie Sadler is standing by with one of those drivers now.
Well, a lot of excitement here with Casey Kane's pit, and we are remembering and honoring all the events of 9/11, 2001. Casey Kane, first of all, a special paint scheme on your car tonight, promoting some pretty special games next year. Tell us about that.
Yeah, next year the games are, the police and the fire department, and it's a pretty neat opportunity for us, and Budweiser's the one that introduced me to it, but I'm definitely going to pay attention to the games next year, and as they battle each other, it should be pretty interesting. So it's pretty neat to have them on the car. It's a huge night for a lot of people, and I'm really happy and proud to have it on our car.
Well, some of our guests tonight, we got somebody from the New York Police Department, Bill Brooks, from the Fire Department of New York, Joe Brosey. They got some special gifts for you tonight, Casey. Joe, take it away.
Well, Casey, I told you last night we had something for you today, and we do. And on behalf of the 343 firefighters that we lost, 37 Port Authority police officers and 23 New York City police officers, and all New Yorkers, we'd like to thank you for driving that car, for recognizing the games. It's a big part of us on the 10-year anniversary of 9/11 to remember those that were lost. And we'd like to present you with a helmet with the 343 from the FDNY.
Mr. Brooks.
Casey, thank you very much. We also have from the Port Authority Police Department their hat along with a shirt and a jacket. It's created by the NYPD, especially for you. Thank you for all you do.
How about it, Casey? Pretty special stuff here, huh?
Wow, this is really amazing to get some of these things and just to be part of it. I think, just to show about the games and think about the games coming up next year, and then just all the remembrance about 9/11 and the memorial. We went there about a month ago, myself and Denny Hamlin, and learned a lot about the memorial and where the towers were. So it's a pretty special time. Looking forward to it, and hopefully our Budweiser Ford will be fast tonight, and we can do some good things with this on the car.
I was going to tell you, a pretty special moment for you. You won your first Cup race here back in, I guess, 2005. Can you get back there tonight? And, the chase is over with, but you guys can still get another victory. You guys have been so strong in so many places, and I know you love this racetrack.
Yeah, it's a great racetrack for us. The chase is definitely over for our team, but we can still run well. We can still try to win races and perform, and that's what we're going to do the rest of the year. And hopefully tonight will be a great night for us. This awesome track always puts on a good show, and the fans will be excited.
And Casey not only driving for Budweiser and his other fans, but a lot of these people in New York City will be riding along with Kasey Kahne tonight. Johnny?
Absolutely, Hermie. Thanks a lot. Last weekend in Atlanta, one streak was broken and another one remained alive. Tony Stewart has won a Sprint Cup Series race in every year that he's competed in the series, and also he snapped a winless streak that dates back more than 30 races. But that was not the only thing going on in the ATL last weekend.
Entering race 25 tonight, the top two, Kevin Harvick and Jeff Gordon, are locked into the chase. Much of the rest of the top 11 could lock in tonight, barring trouble, while the 12th and final place is still a question.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Fire in the hole, boss. All right, gentlemen, start your engine. 500 miles of good times here. Start having a little fun. Go out there and get some good bonus points next 2 weeks. We've got 12 weeks. Go out there and win this thing. Tony, are you sure you're ready for this? Just ring the bell, you pansy. Guys, let's have a good night tonight. Buckle down and get that chase mindset going on.
Hey, buddy, let's have a good night out there. Show them how to win this race. Come out of here with a finish we deserve.
10-4, buddy. Thank you.
The Emory Healthcare 500, race number 25 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway is green.
Five's got a little trouble, looks like.
Pushing so bad.
Right front's about going. This is a back straightaway. It cuts off and turns back on. Like it's electrical or something. The 20's been about to blow for 30 laps.
It looks like Denny Hamlin's car is blowing up. Big trail of smoke behind Denny Hamlin. Now he slides sideways down into the infield grass.
Motor just blew. Just stay on the apron. Stay on the apron. This is just great. Hopefully we'll still make the chase. If not, this is just a crash.
Tony Stewart really happy with his race car. He feels like that he could be the man to beat.
Caution, caution. That's fun. Got so excited I got a hamstring cramp that I had to fight for about 10 laps. Hell, if that's all it takes for me to punch you in the hammy next time before you get in the car. Noah built the yard. I was asking if he knew why he didn't fish a lot while he was on the yard.
No, I have no idea. I'm not even going to take the time to think about that right now.
He only had 2 worms, Bob.
They just sent me a message over here from Bobby Labonte. He said, you got to fix that 33. He's out of control. He's got to finish this race.
I was going to save this for the Tuesday meeting, but I usually can't. I want to cut pay so you can give some more engineers some money. Come over and help us. I'll get it back on the back end when we start running better.
Trouble. Biffle trying to hang on to it.
Rick in front of you. Hold your line. Hold your line. Stay up. Stay up.
Yeah, the fastest car on the racetrack right now is this 14. He's able to go on and make the pass. That's just Tony Stewart wheeling this race car. Contact! Kasey Kahne and the two, and somehow they managed to hold on. Oh, man, what a job Kurt Busch did. Wow.
All right side's caved in.
See, all this happening right in front of Clint Boyer. He's thinking, oh, my gosh, I've been safe here all night. Looks like Ryan Newman's right behind him. Yeah, got a little bit of a push there, and that sent Kasey. He needed a little more racetrack. Green flag is out, and we're racing now with 18 to go here at Atlanta.
Tony Stewart with the lead now on the back straightaway. Carl Edwards tucks in behind him.
Got damage up here. Looking low. Inside.
That's all right. He wouldn't want me to hit him. What is the 9 doing? We got this. Ring the bell, baby. Woo! Nice job, baby. Good job, guys.
Where do we finish there? 21st.
Good job. We beat everybody we needed to beat.
We finished 7th. All right, guys, so keep running like this. We'll win this championship. Oh, welcome to the chase. You've officially clinched.
Tony Stewart, the winner tonight here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
A victorious night for Tony Stewart and crew chief Darian Grubb. 8 wins for Darian. That was the 5th with Tony Stewart. You guys definitely have momentum on your side. Clearly, statistically, the favorite right now. What has changed recently for you guys? What has given you this extra boost in these final half of the season?
I think a lot of it's just confidence and hard work. A lot of the guys there at Stewart Haas, and we did a lot of testing mid-season, did a lot of short track testing, and picked up a few things there, and we started carrying that into our intermediate program. And Tony's just been getting better and better in those cars, and we're finding more things that work with him and keeping the speed in the race car as well.
One more chance to get 10 more bonus points going into tonight. How much more prepared are you guys this year compared to last year going into the chase?
I think now we really understand what to expect. We've gone through the jitters and the pressure of last year. We were kind of on a slump when we went into the chase. We had a few bad runs. We still were able to win Kansas and have some good runs, but now this year we're on our momentum swing. We're ready to go out there and prove to people we're championship contenders and stay up front.
All right, what will we see tonight in the racing? We've seen bottom feeders, and is that top line going to be any good? It's been in question this weekend.
I think you're going to see a little of both. It's so hard to pass here. You're going to have a good car on the bottom for sure. But when the good guys are on the bottom, you're going to have to be able to go to the top and get around them, be able to keep your momentum up and get up on the position for the straightaway. So forward bite's going to be an issue like it always is here at Richmond. And the bottom line seems to be a little tough for that, where the top side can keep their momentum. So it's really hard to pull off those passes.
All right, well, we look forward to Tony Stewart working out that line. Thanks to Darian Grubb, who they will start 15th tonight. Now, Jeff, the question is the 14 team the one to beat right now?
Wendy, I like what I'm seeing with the 14 crew, and I think Darian Grubb kind of summed it up. You know, for him to win a championship, he was the crew chief last year, but he's never been in this position as a crew chief until that season. So now he's got the experience under his belt. And to me, one of the key things that's really helping this group is the pit crew. They're coming together at the right time. They got Tony off of pit road fast last week, gave him that first position to be able to go on and get that first win. And I think tonight, that's another key element. If they get off of pit road and Darian makes the right calls and Tony usually runs extremely well here, this team could easily be carrying in, you know, some 20 bonus points into Loudon, and the type of momentum that could really make the difference as far as this season compared to a year ago. Tony was the last guy to hold this championship before Jimmy Johnson got on that rein. And Larry, I think for this team, the way they're moving up in points, the way they're showing up the racetrack, ready to go racing, that Tony Stewart could wind up being the guy that could really rock Jimmy Johnson's world.
Well, and I just think that you look at the numbers, but I like what Darian Grubb said. You know, they led the points for almost half of the first 26 races last year going into the chase. They got into the chase, and they were not where they needed to be, and they didn't end 2009 where they needed to be. They got to trying some things when this season started. You look at the first 12 races, they only had one top 5 finish, and that was at Bristol. But he talked about testing. I talked to Darian Grubb. In mid-June, they went to Milwaukee, a track that none of the NASCAR series goes to, and they tested for 2 solid days. They hit on something there that they knew Tony liked the feel of, and you look at the last 12 races, 6 top 5 finishes. At one point earlier in the year, not that far ago, he was 18th in the points. So, yeah, I definitely think this could be a group to deal with.
Yeah, I think the other thing, Larry, is they got their arms around the spoiler change. I think when they went from the wing to the spoiler, I think that threw all those Hendrick cars a curve. But now I think they've got their arms around it, and that's why you're seeing better performance.
Yeah, and I agree with everything you guys say. I think last year, it was the first year. I think Tony and Darian and that whole organization, if you look at Ryan Newman and Tony, it was strictly off adrenaline. It was strictly off being pumped up. We're going to prove Joe Gibbs wrong. We're going to prove everybody wrong. We're going to go out there and win races. We're going to do stuff. And that's what they did. When they got to the chase, they were out of juice, man. They could not take it to the next level. I think right now they're at that place, understanding the car, understanding where Tony's at, understanding where Darian's at, that they can take it to the next level. We see the 48 take it to that next level every year. It depends on the chase this year is going to be those 2 or 3 teams that can take and rise above what these guys have done for the first 26 races and just play a little bit harder.
And there is something to be said about knowing how to win a championship, and Tony Stewart is the only guy who has won a championship under the old format of the Winston Cup and this new one in this chase format. He's done them both and could add another one this year. Well, he's got it. Ryan Newman wants it. We'll talk to them when we come back. If you love the sound of engines revving and the roar of the crowd, racing is your passion. Check out Cheerios.com/love for heart-healthy tips and a chance to win the ultimate race weekend. Love your heart so you can do what you love. And next weekend on NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot, Richard Childress himself will tell us how he stays healthy away from the racetrack. And his team is certainly healthy right now. He's got 3 cars in the top 12. Clint Boyer is the only one who is not locked in out of those 3, and Ryan Newman wants a piece of that chase action. Let's hear what they had to say earlier on race day.
Looking back at last week, that really gave me a lot of confidence. We struggled. You know, we weren't a top 10 car throughout the race, and there at the end we made the adjustments and got ourselves back in position to get ourselves a good top 10, 7th place finish, and more importantly, put more points on these guys. So, it's the ability to take, bad races and turn them into good are what makes teams able to compete for a championship. And, whether the 12th seed or not, I feel like we can still be a threat for this championship.
Yeah. No, just in all fairness, Clint's a great guy, and whatever happens tonight happens. We have a mathematical chance, but we can't expect to make it up in one race. And there is potential. We have a good car, and anything can happen here at a short track. But in the end, we're here to win the race. If that happens, it happens.
And mathematically definitely is the key. Ryan Newman's going to have to go out tonight, lead the most laps, and win the race to have a chance at this. But Kenny Wallace, we have seen it happen twice before. Jeremy Mayfield did it, and Casey Kane did it. They did exactly what they had to do coming here.
When I look back at the year and I look at Clint Boyer and I think of Ryan Newman, it was us 3 in victory lane congratulating Ryan Newman on an awesome win, a last lap shootout with Jeff Gordon. So Ryan Newman's got to win. Why is he not in the chase? Just what he said, consistency. Isn't it incredible that there are half the field that are in the chase right now, including Clint Boyer, have not won. 6 drivers have not won. You look at Jamie McMurray, he's won 2 of the biggest races of the year, and he's not in. This first 26 races of the year goes back to the old school points. You got to be consistent. You cannot have those DNFs.
It has never happened before in the history of this format that we have had people win the championship without winning an actual race. But Kyle, it really could happen this year. You got 5 guys going for the championship who haven't won yet, but it might be unlikely.
Yeah, it's incredibly unlikely. I think Jeff Gordon and Steve Letarte said it at the beginning of the year. To beat the 48, you got to win races. You can't just finish 2nd, 3rd, and 4th and win the championship and beat the 48. I think the 48's a little bit off of their game. We talked about the 48 a little bit earlier. We got to mention in that a lot of mistakes that Jimmy Johnson's made this year in races that have taken them out of races. I think Chad's the guy that hadn't made any mistakes so far, so that team's got to come back together. But I think the big deal when you look at it, when it comes down to the end, it may not be the guy that wins the most races in these last 10, but the guy's going to have a W in the column somewhere.
No, I think you're right, Kyle, and I can't imagine there are 5 guys that haven't won races. They're heavy hitters, man, and that's one thing about tonight's race. There are guys going into tonight's race that have one thing in mind, and that's win. Jeff Gordon, Jeff Burton, those guys have been right there. Jeff Gordon's, he's had a couple of victories snatched right out of his hands. So tonight's about winning races for the 5 guys that haven't. It's also about winning races for the other guys that do have wins, try to get those other 10 bonus points. So I'm excited about tonight's race. I think it's going to be a real strategical race. I think you're going to see a lot of staying out when maybe get those 5 bonus points for leading the lap, get 2 tires. I think you're going to see a lot of things happening tonight.
Yeah, to me, Darrell, it's a go for broke type of race. When you have an opportunity right now, the guys all the way, our top 20 guys in the points, they all could win. And to me, what you're looking at tonight, it's like an all-star event. After the night, the points don't matter, so go for broke. Guys like Juan Pablo get a chance to get a 2nd win. Marcus Ambrose. You go down the list, there's a lot of people, not just the guys in the top 12, that want to leave here. You talked about being a statement race. Tonight's a great opportunity, Larry, for these guys to make a statement that, hey, I deserve to be in the chase. Even though I wasn't consistent, I'm fast enough.
Well, we talked about the 5 guys that's in the top 12 right now that's not been to victory lane. I want to add a guy to that list that not that long ago, he was on the radar to make the chase. You look at Casey Kane in that 9 car. Think about the last time we were at Loudon. He was in his own zip code until the engine let go on that 9 car, so I think that could be a guy that they have to deal with. But back to the 33 and the 39 car. Clint Boyer said it. He has to finish 28th or better, but that's based on Ryan Newman leading the most laps and winning the race. I just don't see Clint Boyer getting knocked out of this top 12 tonight.
Nope, me neither.
Guys, it is highly unlikely, but like Ryan Newman himself said, strange things can happen on short tracks. Still to come on NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot, we will hear from some of your heroes who drive race cars, and we will also have a very special salute to some of the fallen heroes of September 11th, 2001. Race fans know it. This is one last chance for bonus points and one last chance to perhaps make the chase for the Sprint Cup. Tony Stewart got his 10 bonus points in the ATL last weekend, and now he wants 10 more in Richmond, and he will start P15 in the number 14 car. Clint Boyer has it. Ryan Newman wants it. Right now, he's in the 12th spot, and barring a very unforeseen mistake from that number 33 team, it looks like we know our top 12 as of right now. But the fans are here, ready for racing on a very important day, not only for NASCAR, but to the country as well. It was 9 years ago today that America was attacked. The events of 9/11 are forever etched in our minds, and like every other major league sport, after a break, we raced on in memory of our fallen heroes.
It's an emotional time. It's a feel-good time to see everybody talking to each other. This is a time when Americans all over this country pull together, and NASCAR is no different.
I just want to tell all of you thank you for what you're doing. You guys are the heart of our country, and you're the ones that keep it free. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Today, in the shadow of the neighboring Dover Air Force Base, the Winston Cup Series is back. And so are the fans, a patriotic group that has gathered for the enthusiasm and excitement of racing, and for the opportunity to show their support for this nation, our leaders, and thank the heroes that have brought forth the light of hope from America's darkest day.
When the green flag dropped at the Monster Mile, NASCAR didn't miss a beat and picked up right where they left off. Just a little more red, white, and blue than before.
There's been a lot of talk about how nice Schrader's car looks this weekend and how patriotic it is. And it's not just a nice thing that M&M's did to take the decals off the car and put the American flag on there. It took the crew 13 hours to decal that car. They started at 5 p.m. one afternoon and finished at 6 a.m. the next day in time to get it up here to Dover.
The show must go on, and what a show it was.
Bodies in the wall.
Ricky Rudd and Dale Earnhardt Jr. had the cars to beat, exchanging leads all afternoon, until Rusty Wallace, while a lap down, knocked Rudd off the point.
Oh, we got a prize, the leader, Ricky Rudd, goes around. He hasn't hit anything yet. But Rusty Wallace goes by, gets a lap back home.
Well, Rusty, I don't know what was wrong with him. He was off the pace, and I guess he needed a caution and decided to wreck the leader. I've never seen nothing like it. I know he's got the nickname Rubberhead in the garage area. Now, I never understood it, but I understand it now.
On my taking incident, he was getting ready to lap me, and as he wrapped me, run into me in the back straightaway. And as I went down the corner, I just stood in the throttle, tried to pass him outside. He slowed up a little bit. I got the tail end of him. That's my story. I named the guy Cone had a long time ago. I think I'm going to name that dude that. He's got a hell of a problem out there, I tell you.
Junior just drives by on the inside, keeping that car right down next to the apron.
With 38 to go, NASCAR's favorite son, Dale Earnhardt Jr., took the lead from Dale Jarrett and never looked back.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's going to lead 193 of 400 laps. The American and checkered flags out at Dover. Earnhardt Jr. wins. Dale Earnhardt Jr. led 193 laps. Ricky Rudd led 169.
Hey, where's that big American flag at? Joey's got it on the first stretch.
Days like today really make you realize just how proud of people are of this country and just how good this country is. And so, you know, you get so used to those things, take those things for granted for so long. And so it's good to have reminders and have things like we've had today. So it really puts you back down.
Such an important part of the healing process to get people back in stadiums and back competing, doing what they love. And once again, we have to salute our military for making it possible for us to have the freedom to go out and do what we love. Darrell Waltrip, there are reasons you remember races, and I think no fan will ever forget that race.
No, Johnny, that's the day the eagle cried. The United States of America was attacked on its own soil. And I'll never forget what our President George W. Bush said. He said, "I can hear you. The rest of the world hears you. And the people who knock these buildings down, well, they're going to hear from all of us soon." Amen, brother.
You know, that day at Dover, I was thinking to myself, you know what? We have packed these grandstands at Dover at this racetrack to show those terrorists that they cannot stop us. That, to me, was the biggest statement all these fans could make. They could have stayed home and said, you know what, these terrorists have stopped us, but they didn't. They packed the grandstands there. Then we went on to Loudon after Thanksgiving, and they packed them there. Good job, America.
Yeah, you know, what I remember about Dover more than anything else was all the American flags. And I think you saw it in that piece right there. And I think it puts life in perspective, is we were racing. And it's just a game. This is just a game. We can sit up here and we can talk about this all we want to. We can talk about the chase. We can talk about everything that goes on. But this is just pure entertainment. What happened that day changed this country and changed a lot of people's lives. Some for the better, some for the worse. God bless the people that lost their lives there, and God bless this country for remembering it.
And Kyle, the thing is that I remember, and what I think about right now after visiting troops and going overseas and seeing some of the places we were going to try to defend our freedoms, that our men and women that are in service for this country, they do it with such great gratitude and appreciation for and love for this country. And I think it made everybody here in America understand how much we really appreciate our men and women who serve us, as well as the fire departments and the police departments and the rescue squads. I mean, we had, I think, a different appreciation after 9/11, and I hope we never lose sight of that, because that's what makes this country great, is we're able to take care of one another and do what's necessary when times get tough. And Larry, to even today, I mean, I feel like I got goosebumps right now thinking about it, what's going on here at the racetrack and what has gone on in this country since then.
Well, I think it was very fitting that next weekend that all of sports, that we went dark, because obviously our thoughts and our prayers were with the victims and the families and the friends of those people. And I think we even questioned the next week going to Dover, because we still went there with tears in our eyes and very heavy hearts. But we showed them, you might get us down, but you're not going to get us out, because together we're going to stand as one nation under God, and here we are. I think Ryan Newman said it earlier. We're able to come here 9 years later and feel safe, over 100,000 strong, because of our men and women overseas fighting for our freedom every single day.
Amen.
Amen. Yeah, and Larry, the armed forces will be very well represented on the racetrack tonight, with the U.S. Army, National Guard on the race cars, as well as all the military people who are with us. And, of course, the very special salute to the fire departments and the police officers, emergency medical techs, and the rest who could protect our safety. When we come back, we will hear from points leader Kevin Harvick, at least points leader from now, local favorite Denny Hamlin, and Kyle Busch as well. Welcome back, everyone, to NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. As we take a look at the championship standings, we now focus our attention on the column to the right hand of the screen, the wins. Kevin Harvick has 3 as of now, but the guys who will lead us into the chase are Jimmy Johnson and Denny Hamlin with 5 wins apiece. Now, by virtue of the tiebreaker, if neither Jimmy nor Denny Hamlin were to win tonight, we would then only have to go back to the 3rd place finishes, and therefore Jimmy Johnson will be our championship leader. Greg Biffle is in with a 42nd place finish or better. Clint Boyer 28th or better, and Ryan Newman has a mathematical chance to get his 10 bonus points into the chase. So now let's hear from a few of the drivers who are going for nothing but a win tonight.
I really think you race for wins regardless of whether you're locked in a chase or you have points, no points. I mean, you really kind of go and do the same things that you would do on a normal basis.
Really, for us, we're just trying to get better at the mile to 3/4 mile racetrack. So we got a few of them in the chase. So for us, we're going to go out there and try to win as if it was any other week, and hopefully improve our spot by 10 points. We felt like we missed out on an opportunity to do that last week.
Well, we don't want to be too aggressive on trying to go after a win, getting ourselves in trouble. You know, we'd rather just work hard at trying to keep our momentum going. We won at Bristol. We had a really strong run at Atlanta, coming back from being down almost 2 laps and getting a solid top 5 there. So we just want to keep our momentum going here through Richmond, get another solid top 5, and just kind of keep building on what we've got so far.
Really, the only way that you would race difference is if you're racing for 12th. You know, you take 0 chances at that point, but anything other than that at this point, I think everybody's pretty much racing the same way, and that's to first try to win the race, and if not, then try to take the most points out of that particular weekend that you can.
So Kevin Harvick is one of those drivers that's looking for a win to get the 10 bonus points and take them into the chase with him. But now here is the question coming at it. Who else can pull off the upset win tonight? And Kenny, you have won on this racetrack 3 times before. What is the key to winning here?
The key to winning at Richmond is your entry into turn 1. Being able to turn left without the car getting loose and eat that yellow line up. That is your best friend. Whenever you have to go high, then it makes the lower line where somebody's going to pass you. But, you know, when I look at this race tonight, I think to myself, you know, we're all focused in on these top 11 or 12. Well, you know what? They really don't deserve much focus. They're in. What I want to see is I want to see an upset. I want to see someone like Jamie McMurray win. I want to see Casey Kane come in. I want to see Juan Pablo. Kyle, you know, I mean, I love our sport. Well, wouldn't it be funny if somebody just upset the cherry cart tonight? What about David Rudeman? What if he wins?
It would be perfect. It's funny. We keep talking about top 12, top 12, top 12, top 12. You know, I don't know, but there's 31 other cars out there that's going to be in this race tonight. And when you look at that, you know, we can look at it, and you mentioned a lot of good guys. And a lot of guys have qualified really well. You look at A.J. Allmendinger, you look at Junior, you look at guys like that. They're in the top 10 for the first time, and we're not even talking about it. If this was any other race, we'd be talking about these guys being favorites to win this race. But really, we're focused on that 12th place guy. What this tells me, listening to Hammond, listening to you talk, listening to everybody talk, is finally we're going to get one race this year where nobody really cares about points and they just go for the win. I thought that's what we were supposed to do every freaking week. I don't know, but finally we get one.
Hey, you got 42 guys out there with one rule. Bring back the trophy or the steering wheel. Nothing else in between is okay. And one of those drivers certainly who would hope to pull off a big upset tonight is Joey Logano, driver of the number 20. So let's go to Joey for our Home Depot Hot Lap.
Hey, I'm Joey Logano with your Home Depot Hot Lap. This week in Richmond is the last race before the chase. Unfortunately, we're not in the mix of that, but we're going to be aware of what's going on there, but for us, it's going to be a pretty normal race. You know, we're going to definitely try to get the best finish we can. We worked a lot in practice and got our Home Depot Toyota pretty good. I got a lot of confidence going into this race. Always had solid runs here, so I'm pretty excited about how we're going to do tonight, and hopefully the car stays good and we'll be there at the end and try to get a win. So that's your Home Depot Hot Lap.
Joey, thanks. We're getting closer and closer to the green flag on the last race of the regular season for the Sprint Cup Series, but we are just barely revving our engines here on NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. We're going to get you down in the thick of it all, down on the grid, to drivers' introductions to hear what your heroes of NASCAR are looking forward to tonight at Richmond.
What's better than hearing our stage chatter? Getting the goods straight from the sources. Wendy and Hermie interrogate the prime suspects to see who has the inside track to victory lane today. The lightning round is coming at you. NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot on speed.
Hey race fans, Toyota Racing Sponsifier 2 Top 100 semifinalists will commence this Tuesday, September 14th. Visit ToyotaRacing.com this Tuesday to cast your vote for your favorite design. Sponsifier only at ToyotaRacing.com. Ask 10 drivers, chances are 8 or 9 of them will tell you this is the perfect racetrack for short track racing here at Richmond. We are riding along with Kyle Busch, a guy who's had great success here at this track over the years. And Kenny, what is he looking for?
Right now, he's looking to see how his car will handle its practice. He's eating that yellow lineup. Remember, race fans, I told you about that. Kyle Petty, you know, if you can put your left sides on the yellow line, there's extra grip down there.
Yeah, and here's what you talked about earlier, the key, getting in the first corner here, because you fall into that. That's the fastest part of the racetrack. And as you said, the car just gets out from under you and it gets loose, works up the racetrack. If you can be on that yellow line, that's the way it's been in the past. Now, the last couple of years, they've made the high line work, so we're going to have to see if it comes in tonight.
In last night's NASCAR Nationwide race, the tires were a big deal. The outside lane did not come in. It surprised the whole field. Last night, the tires, the Goodyear tires said, keep me on the bottom of the track. It's going to be close to see if those guys can run on the outside.
Let's now go down to Hermie Sadler, who we often refer to as the pride of Emporia, Virginia, for more. Hermie?
Yeah, and you guys are exactly right. And what I noticed in last night's Nationwide Series race, you're right, Kenny, the bottom groove was the fast way around the racetrack, especially after a restart to make passes. The other thing that was really surprising, coming off of turn 4 to the start-finish line, cars were really, really loose. You take these Sprint Cup Series cars that are a lot heavier with a lot more horsepower, it's going to be a real issue tonight for the drivers to try to manage these cars, manage the tire wear with the accelerator, especially coming off turn 4. And look at these tires right here in Ryan Newman's pit. I realized last night that tires at this racetrack today are more important than they've ever been. I want 4 tires with a good pit stop the last time around. And for more on this, let's go to the champ, Darrell Waltrip, who was a 6-time winner here at DW. You talked about it. It's going to be a very strategically planned race for the driver and crew chief. What's it going to take to win tonight?
Well, no, first of all, I like having that first pit box down there. That's a big advantage. And while I'm on that subject, I want to say this. The regular season champ, Kevin Harvick, when this race is over with tonight, he is not going to be leading the points when they go to Loudon next week. That's a shame. What does he get for it? Nothing. But I got an idea, and I want to share this with you, and it's quick. The guy that's leading the points at the end of 26 races, he should get #1 pit selection in every race in the chase. Give the man something for leading the points. If you're not going to give him money and you're not going to give him a trophy, at least give him that #1 pit box, because as you're going to see tonight, that would be a huge advantage, and that would be a nice payoff for leading the points at the end of 26 races.
And Darrell, the thing is, right, I'll tell you what I'm going to give Kevin Harvick tonight. If I'm his crew chief, I'm going to give him 4 tires. That's what he's going to need all night long. Unlike last night in the Nationwide Series, these guys have almost got an unlimited use of tires. So if my car is going to need tires and I can work it out and I've got a good pit crew, I'm going to keep tires on that car, keep them up front as much as possible. But you got to have 4 Goodyears tonight, Larry, I think, if you're going to win this thing, because they really seem like they're going to be the determining factor. Who's got the better tires and who can kind of control their car and keep those tires on it all night long.
4 tires will definitely make you a hero, but I want to go back and touch on something that Hermie was talking about. Of all the racetracks we go to, normally when we go from daylight to night, like we're going to race here tonight, the cars will tighten up. It just seems like over the last few races here, cars at night actually get looser. The challenge these crew chiefs has is the fact that you try to tighten the car up and you almost don't fix it, but you hurt the turning. I talked to Jimmy Finning about a couple hours ago, crew chief for Matt Kenseth. He said, Larry, I hear that in my sleep. You didn't hook the rear tires up, but you hurt the turning. But the guy that can figure that out tonight, keep that car turning, keep that car nice and tight off the corner, he may be the guy that pulls right here in victory lane. And Wendy, I know there's one guy you're with that would love to accomplish that.
Yes, crew chief Shane Wilson for, of course, Clint Boyer would love to accomplish that goal tonight. In talking with Shane before this interview, Shane, there's so many factors going into tonight. I mean, basically, you guys have to finish 28th or better. That's if Ryan Newman wins the race and leads the most laps. So how aggressive or conservative are you going to be?
Well, we're just trying to come into this race kind of as business as usual, and that makes it kind of easier. You know, when we get out there racing, we'll be more conservative than probably we would be on a normal race. Just not take any unnecessary chances. But luckily we have a good car this weekend, and that lets you be a little more patient, hopefully. And then, you know, towards the end of the race, we can see where we are and see if we need to be conservative or if we can kind of go for it. So just trying not to do anything different to break up our momentum. We've been having a good runs here the last few weeks, and just need to keep on doing the same thing.
Now, Hermie Sadler was talking about tires and them falling off. What is your take on the tires and about that line? What line will we see drivers run tonight?
Well, definitely the cars, you know, last night fell off a lot more, and we saw that a little bit in practice. So concerned about that. Definitely going to be putting 4 tires on all night, and we'll see if the upper line comes in. And you know, it didn't seem to in the nationwide race, but we've been kind of pretty happy on the bottom here, so we'll probably stay right there.
All right, good luck to Shane Wilson and the guys here at the 33. I'll tell you, it's all business as usual. When I was in the hauler, Johnny, Shane Wilson's been calm, cool, and collected, and so are the crew guys who are getting suited up right now.
Wendy, thanks a lot. Now, Kenny, in that race last night that you and Hermie both were driving, and you noticed something about Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, Harvick was going back to old school. I don't know what Goodyear has done with these tires. Used to be where you could, you know, go around the outside. And watch Kevin Harvick here. He's doing what we've done for years. He's eating the yellow lineup, actually taking the left side of the tires and getting it on the flat. That unloads the car, takes a little wedge out of it. But looky there, right on the bottom, ultimate traction on the very bottom of the racetrack.
So that's something to look for tonight as we see these Cup drivers try to pull off what Kevin Harvick did last night. We're a little bit more than 1 hour before the green flag of the final race of NASCAR's regular season. So much more to come, and what's going to be the biggest challenge after this race? We got 10 to go, and we'll talk about the wild cards in the chase.
Next week, Chase Dreams start in New Hampshire. as the Lucky 12 lead the field to the Granite State to kick cup hunting season off with a bang. Who gets the jump on the competition and leads the Magic Mile in P1? Live from Loudon at 10 a.m. NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot on Speed.
After tonight, there will be 10 races that will decide the 2010 champion. We start out at Loudon, we finish up at Homestead. Over the past 4 seasons, though, Jimmy Johnson and Chad Knaus have had an amazing, incredible winning record at all these races. But Kyle Petty, when you look at that, you got to look at the big wild cards of being the short track at Martinsville and the big track at Talladega, where your fortune might be out of your control.
Yeah, it is out of your control. You know, Talladega is one of those things where it just depends on which line you get in. You can go from second or third in the inside line, and all of a sudden the outside line moves, and you're 15th or 20th. And that's just the way Talladega is. Martinsville is one of those places that you get caught in somebody else's mess. So you've got 8 racetracks in this thing that you can control your own destiny. And the thing is, to win the championship, you've got to control your destiny in those 8. You can't make any mistakes. You can't start off at Loudon with a mistake. You can't get in somebody else's mess, and you got to salvage something out of Talladega. We saw Jimmy Johnson last year ride around at the back of the pack and end up 5th or 6th. It's just his day.
And you know, a couple of races in the chase, we only actually, taking Talladega out of it, we only have 2 500-mile races in the chase, and that's at Charlotte Motor Speedway and Texas. That's the 2 that the engine guys will be biting their nails the most on, because we're getting into some cool temperatures. The engine's going to be making a lot of horsepower, and they know that that could be the 2 bullets they have to dodge as far as engine durability.
And you're saying where?
Charlotte and Texas.
You know, I'll throw another one in there that I think you don't want to overlook, and that's Kansas. I think because we only go there once a year, there's not a lot of notes on that racetrack. And everybody says, well, it's just another mile-and-a-half cookie cutter. It's not. I think if you come in there and overlook the fact that you got to race at Kansas and make it happen, DW, that's a track that could get you in trouble.
Yeah, you can get in trouble anywhere. The faster you go, the more trouble you can get in. What I like about, you know, we got 4 races here, 3 of them on a mile track, and then you got Martinsville, a half-mile track. You can have a little fender bender there, and maybe you get to lose a lap, but you're not going to be knocked out of the race. You go to Talladega, you know, who knows what's going to happen there. The 1.5 and 2 mile racetracks, as fast as you go, you wreck there. Most likely you're not going to get your car fixed and get back out and salvage anything. So I think the key to this thing is tonight. I think tonight will set the stage for what we're going to see in the chase. Ever how they come out of here tonight, when the chase starts, whatever the points are, I think that's going to be a real indication of what they're going to look like when we get to Homestead.
Just real quick, a tale of 2 tapes. You go back to 2008, Kyle Busch, the way he started the chase with those 2 issues in the beginning, he was out of it. Then you look at Greg Biffle, how he started that same chase, winning the first 2 races, and then kind of fell off the map from there.
Yep.
You know, something that we all are forgetting about is we keep saying, can Jimmy Johnson win this championship again? Well, you know what we all agree on? This is the exact same schedule. These 10 races that are coming up, these are Jimmy Johnson's tracks. Why? Because he has taught us the last 4 years, these are his track. Darrell Waltrip said something in the meeting this morning that was right. He said, hey, you know, all the races we've been running lately, they're not going to be the same racetracks in the 10 races that we're going to run. But you know what? Those are Jimmy Johnson's tracks. Don't count him out.
Now, you will not be ready for the chase unless you tune into Race Hub this week back in Charlotte with Steve Burns. We will have comprehensive reviews of the season of all the chase competitors, and we'll tell you how they got there and what their chances will be. Here's Steve Burns.
Hey, this is Steve Burns of the NASCAR Race Hub Studios in Charlotte, North Carolina. Keep it tuned to Speed for Chase Preview Week on the Hub starting Monday night. Get an in-depth look at all of the championship contenders, plus the latest breaking NASCAR news and information. Don't miss a full hour of NASCAR Race Hub Monday through Thursday nights at 7 Eastern, only on Speed.
Steve, thank you. And here on NASCAR Race Day, we have breaking news as well.
What is it?
Shocking news. When we come back, there is a new leader on top of fantasy standings.
No.
Yes, believe it.
Is it me?
No.
Is it you?
Not telling.
Is it you?
Not telling. Hey, race fans, how would you like to have an official Sunoco racing fuel can? Visit speedtv.com/Sunoco for entry details, official rules, and drawing dates. Now let's take a look at the standings in our Sunoco Performance Picks, and you will notice on top of the leaderboard.
What?
No longer is it
you're
Kyle
kidding
Petty.
me. Are
And
you
know
kidding
what?
me?
But no, I promise you guys, even though because I'm the leader right now, I will not change the way I do anything. I will not change. I will stay
look at that.
Same. Oh, thank you.
That's weak. That's weak.
I will stay the same humble, calm person I am.
Weak.
I
That's
love
weak.
it.
That's weak. Take those and leave, please. Please.
I love these speed girls.
Let's start out
Okay,
by picking. I'm going to pick. I'm sorry, I gotta get these up. I'm going to go with Carl Edwards tonight because DW said it. One of the most important things tonight is pit position, and Carl Edwards in the number 99 has the selection of the first pit stall. And Robin and Heather, thank you very much for playing along.
You still eating that grape?
Yeah, I'm still stuck in my teeth.
My pick tonight is Clint Boyer. Let me tell you why. He's qualified 4th, and he has won a race here in May of what, 08? Kyle Petty, my pick is Clint Boyer, and he's also, well, he's close to Missouri.
Great pick. Let me just say this. When I take back over the lead, I'm going to be drinking something made from those wine.
Oh, doggy!
Not just eating them, big boy. Okay, my pick
right
this
now.
week is Junior Dale Jr.
No!
88! 88! Yes! Okay, he said, hold on. He said he didn't want to be the butt of any more jokes this week in a press conference. He's going to have the last laugh tonight. Dale Jr.! Yes.
I seen Junior. I seen his daddy, too.
Johnny and Kenny, how un-American can you be on this anniversary of 9/11? I am going with the U.S. Army car. Ryan Newman is going to get the victory here in Richmond. And check out these hats that are already ready for tonight. So Ryan Newman trying to make the chase. Check this out. It's going to be a collector if things don't go as planned for Ryan Newman. Of course, trying to get in from Clint Boyer. It's going to be a fight tonight. Let's head over to Hermie. Who you going with, Herm?
Well, Wendy, thank you. And I'm also going with Kyle Busch. And as Kenny Wallace says, you want to know why? Because he gave me a hat, too. Look at this collector's item hat that, by the way, y'all not getting back. I'm taking this home and putting it on my shelf. But, hey, Kyle Busch dominated this race in the spring. I think he'll do the same thing tonight, starting from 32nd. But I think this car will be good on the long run. And you'll see Kyle Busch in victory lane tonight at RIR. How you like my hat, JR?
Nice hat, Herman. You know what? Kyle Busch knows a thing or two about getting around this racetrack.
A pack of M&Ms come with that?
I'm sure they do. Now, want to thank our special guests tonight, DW, Larry Mack, and Jeff Hammond. Let's go back into victory lane one more time to hear from these guys before we, well, send them off to watch the race.
You got a final thought?
I do. Big Daddy Roberts, let me tell you. I'm going for guys that race too hard. I'm going for the guys that race too hard tonight. No mamby-pamby. Get her done.
So who would that be?
Anybody. I don't care. You pick one. You know who they are.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I think when we leave here, Jimmy Johnson's going to be the points leader, not because he has more second-place finishes than Denny Hamlin, but I think because he will have 60 bonus points. But I'm going to tell you a little nugget. Keep a close watch on row 3. I think the boys at the speed stage mentioned David Ruderman. This has been a good track for him. And don't take your eye off that kid Logano. He was really happy with his car in practice yesterday.
You know, the thing is, when you come to a place like Richmond, you got to understand there's a few drivers that really excel here. And one of the guys I think is going to be a factor in the chase, and he'll be a factor tonight, is the guy who won last week. There's no smoke about him. I'm telling you right now, Tony Stewart will be a real deal. He's a bottom feeder. This race tonight is his kind of race. He'll back up that corner. He'll run around the bottom. And Darian Grubb will make the right calls. He'll be tough all night long.
My dream finish would be 9 and 11. 9-11.
Well, I tell you what, let's do, boys. Let's take a trip over to Mamby-Pamby land and find a little self-confidence, you jackwagons.
Where'd that come from?
That was awesome.
I'm not too sure what to say after that other than
that was
thanks for joining us, guys. We'll be back with us for Victory Lane tonight. And when we come back, we'll take you down in the middle of it all, down to the starting grid, where we will visit some of the stars of NASCAR. Not those three guys.
No.
The real stars of
Minnie, Mo, and
NASCAR
Jack.
on NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot.
NASCAR Race Day is built by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Brought to you in part by Cheerios. Check out Cheerios.com/love for heart-healthy tips and the chance to win the ultimate race weekend. And the General Automobile Insurance Services. For the best car insurance rates in town, call 1-800-GENERAL now.
One more look at the championship standings as we head into race number 26 of the season, the final one of NASCAR's regular season. These 10 drivers are locked in and going for nothing else other than to add 10 bonus points to their win total on the right-hand side of the screen. As you saw a moment ago, the Biff, 42nd or better, gets him in. Clint Boyer, 28th or better, gets him in. And barring any type of very strange, unforeseen actions on the track, Clint Boyer could hold on to that 12th, or then again, Ryan Newman could get the spot away from him. Let's take a quick look at the weather forecast for tonight. Been a beautiful weekend so far, and maybe a little bit of chance of showers later on tonight, but we should be all said and done by 11 o'clock Eastern time. And here's a programming note for you on speed. The motocross season finale will follow us live from Pala, California. Right now, we are looking at less than an hour from the green flag here on the final race of the regular season. And guys, there's so much to look for in this race, but I think the best thing about the whole situation is you got really nobody but one guy caring about points.
Yeah, it has nothing to do. Everybody's locked in. We feel like Clint Boyer is going to be in. But Kyle, I seen something there in those points that just kind of made me go, The guy 7th in the points, Jimmy Johnson. Denny Hamlin 10th in the points. After tonight, they will be first because they have the most wins. Isn't that great?
Yeah, and that's the reset. That's when you reset everything, those guys move up. The guys with 3 wins move in behind them. Like Clint said, Clint's fighting for 12th, but Clint may be up a little bit farther than that when you start looking at stuff. If he won the race, he would jump ahead of 3 or 4 guys. So when you start looking at it, this is where this thing gets so screwed up, and it's hard to explain to you guys because most of the time I don't even understand. Let me be honest with you. You know what I mean?
It can get confusing, but the idea here is to win tonight for everybody. There has been a driver change in the field, though, and Hermie Sadler has more on that.
Yeah, I got Terry Labonte back in the field tonight. Well, first of all, welcome back to Richmond. Got some new colors on this weekend. Welcome back to the racetrack.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and looking forward to it. So we've had a little bit of a tough weekend so far, but you know, it's a tough business, tough sport, and come out for our first time this year, and so we'll do the best we can.
But you got a team that's planning on getting back in it, involved next year, and trying to run a limited schedule, full schedule. What's on you guys' plate?
You know, it's really kind of wide open right now. We're going to run 2 more races this year, and then we're looking at next year trying to run, you know, a pretty good size limited schedule. You know, we'll just have to wait and see how all that plays out. But we're looking forward to coming back and running some races and being back part of it.
Well, welcome back to the racetrack.
Thank you.
That's Terry Labonte. Wendy?
Brad Keselowski was one of the first guys out here to drive our intros, and it's because of
the football game. I was getting nervous, and I realized I really needed to focus on my real job, so I figured, you know what, I'll just get out here as quick as I can and focus on the race.
And of course, being a Michigan native, you're referring to the Michigan-Notre Dame game?
Yes, well, they were winning when I left. I think it's about over now, so I don't know how it ended, but I feel really good about our car for tonight. We need to focus on that, starting 8th. Having a lot of fun here at Richmond. Had a fast car yesterday on the Nationwide side, and our car on the Cup side here with this 12 Penske Dodge Charger was pretty fast in race trim yesterday in practice, so feel good about it tonight.
All right, score update. Michigan 21-17. Hermie?
Catching up with Martin Truex Jr., your weekend got off to a horrible start, but you guys rebounded well, had a pretty good car in practice, it looked like, and a decent qualifying run, you know, for a backup car.
Yeah, you know, I was a little disappointed in the qualifying run. I thought we were going to be a little better than that, but for the most part, our car just wasn't real fast for 2 or 3 or 4 laps. But we had a good car in that second practice and race trim. The guys did a good job getting it ready, and I feel like we're going to be real competitive. We should be able to drive it to the front, so looking forward to it.
What's going to be the key for you tonight? Last night in the Nationwide Series race, the bottom groove seemed to be the place to be, right around that yellow line. In years past, we've seen the middle and upper groove come in. Have you worked on any of those in practice?
Yeah, practice for us was just on the bottom, but you know the track was really a lot hotter than it's going to be tonight. Typically this race, the groove gets pretty wide, so we'll just have to see what happens and go where our car wants to go, but I think it'll widen out. It usually does in the Cup race.
Good luck to you.
Thank you, bud.
All right, let's go back to Wendy.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., who wants to get the job done to victory lane. Hopefully you won't grab the mic from me and start taking over interviews. That was a good job, by the way. I think your check's in the mail from Speed.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, I don't know. That was pretty fun. But we worked on our car really hard in practice, went testing a couple times, and wanted to run better here. We hadn't run that good in the last several trips. This used to be a track that I really look forward to going to, and just hadn't had a good run. So we worked really hard trying to improve, and we did have a good car in qualifying, and hopefully it's got speed in the race.
All this hype with the chase stuff, how do you approach tonight's race any differently?
Just like any other race, line them up, and drop the rag, and see who wins. a little bit of the, everything's pretty much known as far as who's in the chase, so a little bit of that pressure's gone, and you can just sort of throw it all out there and not really worry about losing any points or trying to gain on anybody and things like that. So it's a little bit easier, I think, but this has always been a fun place to come race. I love short track racing, and you don't get to do it too much in this series, so it's always fun to come out here to Richmond.
All right, I agree with those sentiments. Thanks, Dale Jr., who was starting 9th. Hermie?
Yeah, catching up with Matt Kenseth. You've been to Victory Lane here at Richmond. Seems like this, of course, the cars have changed, but this track has changed a whole lot too. How's your car been in practice, and what kind of changes have you made before the green flag tonight?
Yeah, it's been a long time though since we won here, a long time. So,
yeah, but you're still a former winner here.
Yeah, that's good. So,
and a former champion.
But our car roll forward wasn't very good in practice. Really, we made it quite a bit better at the end of practice. I was pretty happy with our change, and then we got a really good lap qualifying for us because we really worked on race trim pretty much the entire practice. So it's a lot different conditions than it was yesterday. Hopefully, we made the right adjustments, and we'll have something that can be competitive and adjustable.
And you guys will be in the chase. I know you want to not only be in the chase, but have a chance to run up front and contend for this thing. What is your team lacking, or what are you guys working on heading into these first 3 or 4 races into the chase?
Well, I mean, you try to sharpen up every area of your program. You try to sharpen up your driving. You try to sharpen up, pit stops and pit road. But the main thing is just get your cars faster. I think if we can unload at the racetrack a little faster, we'd have a better chance of contending, for wins. So this weekend was a little bit better. Like I said, we qualified pretty well. So really, we want to get a good, strong run in tonight for all the Crown Royal guys. So we're ready to go for the chase next week.
Well, Matt Kenseth, if he's in it, he has a chance to win it. Wendy?
Jamie McMurray will start 34th tonight. Jamie, how do you approach this race for you guys with what's at stake for you?
It's not really any different for us. We didn't qualify very well. Actually, it was, I think, our worst qualifying effort of the year. And if we picked a race or a track not to qualify well, this was not the one that we would have chosen. But our Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet is actually really good in race trim. It's way too tight in qualifying trim. I thought we had a good car in race trim, so we'll just go out and do our best. And I think for us tonight, starting as far back as we do, the pit sequence will have to really work out in our favor to be able to stay on the lead lap because of all the green flag racing we'll see.
All right, good luck to Jamie McMurray, who's wrapped up the regular season with a successful winning record. Hermie?
Yeah, thank you, Wendy. Denny Hamlin, home cooking for you this weekend. I know you want to get back to Victory Lane. You love this racetrack. And it'll be good to take some of these fast race cars you've been having and capitalize on them.
Yeah, we hope so. Hopefully we'll have 10 more bonus points when we leave here, but we're going to give it all we got. We've been trying to win for a couple months now, but we're still going to make the best of it either way. We need some momentum going into the chase, and I really feel like we're peaking at the right time. We just aren't finishing at the right time. So I definitely feel like we got a shot at it tonight.
And look for Denny Hamlin to be a factor tonight. His home racetrack. Wendy?
Jimmy Johnson getting ready for driver intros here. What do you expect to get out of your race car tonight, Jimmy?
We're looking forward to a win tonight, but we're sitting here thinking about our 10 weeks that we have coming up, and you have 15 weeks until you're a mother, so I think you've got a lot more on the line than we do. But excited about our chances tonight. The Lowe's ball has been very quick and consistent in practice. Made some small changes to it, and tonight's a good night for us, I think.
All right, Jimmy Johnson could possibly be leading when we leave here at Richmond. Hermie?
I just want to get a quick word with Kevin Harvick. Congratulations, big win tonight. I know you're excited about this Sprint Cup Series chase coming up as well.
Yeah, it was a good night last night. Obviously, this is kind of the last week of everything that we've worked towards. At the beginning of the year, the guys have done a great job to put us in a position where we can race for a championship, and next week it all starts.
Kevin Harvick, look for him to be a factor in this championship, and he loves Richmond. Might be a winner tonight. Johnny?
There's another driver that wants to break a long winless streak, and it could well happen tonight. There's the last driver to attend Victory Lane celebration in Tony Stewart. We are now a matter of moments away from the green flag at the final race of the regular season. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tonight in Victory Lane at 11:30 p.m. Eastern.